Welcome back to the Printasaurus. Today we're going over Bambu Lab's new high flow PETG. It is the PETG Basic replacement. They boast high speed, flawless prints with minimal tuning. So we're going to jump right into it and see if it is exactly as they advertise. A couple things to note that I noticed as I got things set up was initially with my AMSs, the filaments rolls were not detected. I had to do a firmware update to the latest version for the AMS, and then that brought in the RFID detection for that new PETG high flow. So it added that profile. And once I did that, I was good to go there. And then also in Bambu Studio, I updated to the latest version, and then that brought in the actual print profiles for that PETG high flow. So make sure you do that so you actually get the settings that they're recommending, so we can use those as the baseline and see if we need to tune anything from there. So our first initial prints are just going to be using that standard profile that they provide, and we'll see how well that works. This is going to be on the X1 carbon. For profile differences between the PETG Basic and the high flow, temperature is drastically different. So we've got 230 degrees Celsius now and 245 for other layers. With the PETG Basic, we were a lot higher. We were at 255 Celsius. Something else I noticed is the max volumetric speed significantly improved. So the flow rate is higher for the high flow filament. We're at 21 millimeters, whereas the Basic was 13. So potential to increase speed there, and we'll see what we get as we kind of tune and settle on our own base setting. For now, we're going to continue on with the Bambu settings. I want to give you guys just a good example of if you throw it in the machine, what you're going to be looking at from the start, and then you can kind of make a decision if it's worth moving to or not. I did review some other PETGs, some PETGs. California filament's great. Atomic filament wasn't bad. Voxel has some good stuff. So there's a lot of options out there, and maybe we'll do a head-to-head with this high flow as well now that that's out, and see how it compares. So far, it's printing really good. I was looking forward to making these. I needed some tools for the shop for router. I have a compact router that I like to use a lot to do some corners and things like that. It's lightweight, easy to use. It's a Milwaukee cordless one. So when I got this new filament in, I thought, why not go ahead and test and print what I need out of the high flow PETG. So this is the corner piece for your material you use. So you throw that on there like that, and then you can print a bunch of different radiuses based on what you need your radius on your corner to be. So these just snap in place like that, and then what you do is you clamp this guy down, and what I do is I'll mark the radius here. I'll take this off and I'll use a bandsaw or jigsaw, cut it close, throw this guy back on like that, and then take my router and route the edges. So this printed wonderfully, no issues, nice and flat. That's the big thing here, is this has to be flat. So no warpage as it went through the layers. And this is using all the base settings. Everything fits, tolerances are good, so I didn't have to do any adjustment. The Bambu printers really dial everything in nicely. I did do, and this is without even doing a calibration or anything. Usually if I'm using a new filament in my carbons or whatever, I'll let it do the automatic calibration just to get the flow and all that stuff dialed in. This time I just threw it in there and printed after it came out of the Sunlu dryer. So this turned out nice. Definitely recommend. I'm gonna share the link to this. This thing has been fantastic so far. It's exactly what I was looking for. So this is why we want to make sure we dry our filament. I just opened this guy up out of the box and threw it in the printer. Ended up with this. No layer adhesion, nothing. So don't do this. dry your filament, and end up with this. I have a ton, probably way too many hockey sticks. And they're kind of all over the place. So I jumped online and I found someone who designed this. And what this is a hanger for your sticks, just to keep things organized. So I'm in the process of printing a couple of these, and if this guy's our hockey stick, it just clamps in there like that and holds it on the wall. Keeps them from falling over, keeps them up off the wall. This thing has worked great. So I'm going to share the link to this as well. Some initial layer adhesion issues here with printing. Just up the temperature a little bit, slowed down that first layer slightly. I'll share those settings below. And once I did that, ended up with what you see on the top. I'm still working on my Python stuff. I think I'm going to end up converting all of my AMS units to it. It works pretty well so far. So these are the gears for the spools. This one is printed out of the new formula. This is printed out of the PETG Basic. This one did print faster, about 30 minutes faster based on those profile settings and everything. Initially I had some layer adhesion. I bumped that up about 2 degrees and I slowed down the initial layer 10-15 millimeters a second, and it seemed like that works a lot better with getting that initial adhesion and everything. So I'll share those settings on things I tweaked. In terms of color matching, if you do have some old stuff and you need to add, maybe you ran out or anything like that, it is very, very close. You can see on camera when you put them together, they just look like the same color. So looks like color formulas are the same, which is good, especially if you've got some older filament and you're still running through. I still have a roll or two of the PETG Basic. So initial impressions, not bad. So something else that I printed, I have them on my X1 carbons now. I'll show you a close-up of it. But where the PTFE tube comes into the extruder, the angle sometimes when it's, you know, at an extreme kind of pinches that a little bit. So I printed a new guide for the PTFE tube. And this one's a little more compact design. It works with the P1P, P1PS as well, so it's universal. It's not just for the X1 carbon. And I'll share the link to that in the description below. But that's really helped with the filament loading and it pulling back and everything. I used to get a little bit of friction there, and sometimes things would get stuck or not go all the way into the extruder. So this has been great. We're going to do some more in-depth testing. We'll put it up against the California, the atomic filaments, and all those other ones that I've reviewed lately, just to see how well it really stacks up against them. But overall, a good product. I would recommend it, especially if you've got a Bambu printer and you don't want to fiddle with, you know, you've got the AMS units and you just want it to register and print. Easy. Convenience sometimes is king, right? So go for it. So thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. We have a lot of good things coming up in the future. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but this is kind of the setup that I have right now. The next video that you will see from me, this will all be different. I'm going to do a video on cleaning up my studio space, turning it into a more purposeful studio so we can make better content for you guys to watch. So thanks for following along. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And I look forward to improving this stuff and making it even better. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.